$4,943.46. CAW 1, $33,432.09. CAW 2, $15,795.70. CAW County General, $61,477.76. CAW Highway, $84,662.19. CAW Sheriff, $5,100.04. CAW ACH, $147,842.38. CAW 3, $20,532.34. County General, $114,765.38. Highway, $16,196.99. Sheriff's Department, $9,805.15. ACH, $87,695.77. Pauper claims, $1,920.79. Deductions, $2,286.16. Payroll, $374,141.58. Electronic payroll deductions, $199,489.85. And that is it. I need a motion to approve this.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Do you have any department reports?
Evening, everybody. I just want to get you guys the inmate population for October. Today we're at 91 inmates. Break that down to 77 males, 14 females. On the lockup side, there's 80 inmates, and work release, there's 11. You guys have any questions?
Nope.
No,
Thank you,
sir.
Every time.
Thank you.
Other departments. Right, then,
Oh, no, wait. Here comes Diane.
she wasn't paying attention. Oh, okay.
She was just trying to be polite.
Just being quiet.
I would. That's
rare.
rare. Put that in your book.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our testing site still stays pretty busy. We did 103 clients this month. And there's still, I think we had 150 positive COVID clients in the county this month yet. So we still have COVID around. I am getting lots of calls related to that RSV in the kids. So we do have some other things going on too. We are just, I don't know if you all have been getting the core services that they want the health to be providing. The State Department of Health is coming out with they tweak the agenda a little bit. And so have you all been getting them?
Don't think so.
Okay, I will forward those to you. But it's basically, we're doing all of them. Some of the counties were not. And so I don't think it's going to be a big change for us, but I know we're working on that. And so I will forward that information to you. Otherwise, our numbers are on here. Any questions?
Are there, I know I've had some people ask me, are there set dates for when they can get either flu or
The
COVID?
COVID, we do Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the reason we do that is because we don't, when we open that container, if we don't use it, we have to throw it away.
Right.
So when we was doing it every day, we was throwing a lot of vaccine away. So we're trying to just, concentrate on those 3 days, so we don't waste so much. Otherwise, it seemed like we've given one dose of this and one dose of that, every day and that's sort of thing. But our numbers are down in the amount of people coming to get their COVID vaccines. And we're still doing some, but as you can see on here,
Yeah.
we're not doing near the amount that we used to. We had 80 last month.
How's your flu shot participation? Are a lot of folks coming in to get flu shots or?
We do not offer flu shots for
Mm.
Medicare because we have no way of billing them.
Okay, so we don't have any flu shots.
We had it for the county employees.
Oh, okay.
We used to do flu vaccines for the community, and whenever CVS, Walgreens, everybody took it over, then we had years where we lost like 500 doses that I ordered and nobody took, and we had to eat the cost on those. So every year we kind of cut back a little bit. With us doing, the COVID vaccines, a lot of people have gotten really comfortable with coming to the health department, easy to get in and out of, for them, or we'll go to their car and give them the vaccines.
Mhm.
So I think we would like to carry for Medicare the flu vaccine next year. But we're working with the state on a program because we gotta be able to bill Medicare, and at this time, we don't have a contract with them. So we would have to eat the cost of those vaccines, and a lot of your Medicare people will be high dose flu vaccine,
Right.
and so it's expensive. It's like $35 a dose.
And with the changes that we're gonna have, I think,
We're hoping
Yes.
to,
and maybe even do private next year.
Did you get pretty good participation from the county employees or? Good. Good.
so, that's why we're kind of backed up with that flu vaccine, because we didn't get a lot of participation in years past. But I think because people have coming in for the COVID vaccines, and especially if we continue to do so many COVID vaccines in years maybe forward, where we're like, we get boosted, we definitely probably want to pick that up so we can do it at the same time. We're just working on that for next year. And Warren, on your request for the vaping education,
Mhm.
we have somebody lined up to do that this year that Care Communities funded that program for this year. And then we're hoping that one of us nurses will take it over. We have to get trained and stuff to present that program and get the program, placed and
Right.
everything. So it was a little bit harder for us to get in there real quick. So we wouldn't have used the girl from that one. But Care Communities funded that.
That's awesome. Do you think they may get into the schools this spring or is that too early? Oh, really?
I think they'll probably be in there.
Deal. Good deal.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. George.
Just a little brief update on,
No, that was Diane.
well, there's okay. So we had a federal report that was due, late October. Video. Don't hear anything, that's good. We've not heard anything, but we had a lot of great things in our reports. Thank you. S&P rating and some odds. And so there's a lot of things that happen in the on top of that. There's a report that we're getting there. We're actually they're getting ready to drill holes in the ground and fill them up. First for the concrete pour. We were doing that here probably about a couple of weeks. Also, one of the things that worked out really great was county highway department helped us out a bunch by going over there and breaking up the concrete that was set up for the grade building, also around a smaller building, and there was a painting wall. And they hauled off a whole bunch, and I think there's still being some from that that's working there now. Is that right?
Yes.
So we appreciate that effort, and they got some good concrete, and they're going to use that. So that's kind of a good thing. And the great building has heat and electric water, and so which is a really good thing. So it's up and running, and so that's kind of where we're at right now.
All right. Thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
Thanks.
All right. The burn ban has been lifted. That was next on the list. We've had enough rain, plus the winds died
Like,
down.
yeah, I feel like Elvis left the building or something.
All right, Debbie.
Coming to you tonight to bring 6 projects forward as recommended for funding. And Article 5, county commissioner projects total $3,791,500, still leaving about 1.6 left unobligated. So I passed out tonight to you a little package. It'd probably be easier for you to follow along. I could send it out to you as well. You get a little bit of knowledge of the project. The first project is for the Gibson County Sheriff's Department. Originally, the Sheriff's Department, in an application that they would like to purchase equipment patrol cars to replace several vehicles in the fleet that had excessive mileage and wear and tear. It is the hope of the Sheriff's Department that by replacing the vehicles, the citizens of Gibson County will benefit in multiple ways. First, the citizens of Gibson County will benefit from the project because the vehicles with lower miles are safer for law enforcement officers to drive various emergency scenes. The bonus is having new vehicles that officers will have at their hands with latest technology and be time braking, backing, and maneuverability. With dependable vehicles, there will be less chance of injury to the officers and the citizens as they approach various emergency scenes. The second way the citizens will benefit from the project is the excessive cost of maintaining an aging fleet will be lowered and free up money for officers to actively pursue other ways to protect and serve the community. After the application went in, was reviewed by the core group, we asked the sheriff to provide a full list of all vehicles with mileage, what he intended to do, and you've got that list. It should be sort of at the back of the packet that I gave you. Like, so it's July and very back. And all that's them all listed and the mileage. Not no person who wants to be changed out, but we did, but the court did recommend $910,000 for periods of 22, 23, and 24 to replace various vehicles in order to have a better fleet for Gibson County. That's the very front letter where we have to add another. So he'll be using that as call the vehicle overhaul for the and service. Questions about that? Okay. The second one is the Gibson County Animal Services. So Gibson County Animal Services put in an application of $933,819 to build a new shelter. The description of their project was the Gibson County Commissioners in conjunction with the Gibson County Animal Services relocating all operations off of a waste dump site area that currently requires the county to continually provide methane monitoring. The Gibson County Commissioners approved approximately 5 county acres owned by the county for a new animal control facility. The facility will be constructed and fenced, incorporating the needs demonstrated by the past COVID pandemic effects. Additional critical space will be available and allocated to accommodate quarantine and medical needs during a pandemic or disaster for both humans and animals. And I did put in your packet some of the designs they have put in there as well, and what their estimates were. And if I'm correct, the estimates came from a contractor, I believe. A local contractor. We had a county engineer, Marietta County engineer, review them, and he said that he felt that this could be built for around $750,000. So the core group is recommending a total of $800,000 for the new animal shelter, animal service. Are there any questions about that? Okay, the next is the Gibson County Highway Department. Gibson County Highway requested $710,000 for the following: $320,000 for 2 single axle dump trucks. This includes the axle beds and snow plows,
They're needed to replace two trucks currently in the fleet that are at least 10 years old or older. $300,000 to purchase stone and gravel. This will supplement the current budget and allow the department to repair and maintain additional county rock roads currently not in good condition and in need of attention. And the last is $90,000 for side mount mowers. This would allow the department to purchase new mowers to replace current older mowers in the fleet. And those three total amount of $710,000, and the core group agreed that all of these items should be purchased. Any questions about those? Okay, the next one, I don't have any paperwork on, but this was discussed at the core group meeting as an immediate need. As a public defender, the new building is in need of security, technology, paving, and demolition of the old facility. And the core group agreed to put aside $200,000 for the items required by the public defender. However, they want to make sure that she gets 3 quotes for the paving and 3 quotes for demolition. I don't believe we have those yet. I think she had 1 at this time. Any questions on that? I can give you quotes, but I don't have. So I'll let you know. And the last one is for the alcohol and drug treatment and recovery program. Initially, there was an application for $700,000 to provide drug and alcohol programs for inmates and upgrade the community corrections training room for drug and alcohol treatment recovery programs. And then there were several purchases to go with that upgrade. And after discussion and getting back with George Valley, we asked if he could work with the health department to provide the services that were required. Diana's going to be back because she could assist with all of the requirements for this program. She gave an estimate of $141,500, and the core group agreed for the $141,500. However, the health department gets grants for these items, which she said they may be able to, the grants go back into, the money goes back into the pot. So that's the 6 projects. Is there any discussion or additional information?
Sounds good.
I entertain a motion to approve them.
One thing I will point out before we make our motion is that, you've heard of counties defunding the police and not supporting the blue. And I think our vote tonight could let everyone know that Gibson County does support the blue and we support our law enforcement. So that's my one premise that I wanted to share with everyone is we do support the blue and we got their backs because they have ours.
And even the Browns.
And even the brown, right.
I don't care what you call us, I just like support.
Right. So I think that's pretty important. I'm pretty certain that all the commissioners,
Oh, yes,
I'll
100%.
make the motion to accept.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, citizen question, I think she said 6, so I missed 1. Is the highway department actually 2 projects? Is that
I think,
what
and she said 5 originally, so I think it's 5 projects.
Oh, yeah, one of them was for the administration. That's why we're doing.
Okay, so there's 5 tonight.
There's 5.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, animal service building update. Sharon?
We really are excited. We were also with good funding. So I'm probably the first grade recipient to jump right in here and ask you guys questions about the budget. Debbie's done a good job of putting all this together. We, as you know, we already got the vehicle that was approved previously, and we're seeing you guys coming out looking at it. Obviously desperately needed. So our question tonight on the vehicle specifically is we have some money left over and we'd like to use that to put a few extras like mud flats. what we did before, and Mary from the shelters here as well, what we did before were actually wired in. More like, not exactly like a police or emergency vehicle, but at night when they're out, they go over to the side of the road, running around chasing animals through fields and yards. So we would, since it's county vehicle, we would like, your approval, I guess, tonight, or you maybe votes on being able to put lighting in if it requires wiring into the vehicle.
How much do you have left over and how much is this projected?
About 1,900, I think, and then I got an invoice tonight.
So there's about 1,700.
Is it for the same vehicle that you just purchased, as long as it's for the same vehicle? And you don't exceed, yeah, and you don't exceed, then it should be fine.
So then I guess my question is, because it's county vehicle, and potentially would be used by another department, probably not. Do you have an objection if we decide the wiring and the safety lighting would be better for us than just temporary analysis? Changing our vehicle.
Where are you intending? I don't want to see any holes drilled through the roof. Yeah, Steph?
Current vehicle,
So Harry's used to purchasing all these kinds of lights and different things for vehicles. He had recommended the dashboard lights that you would plug in and maybe throw on a toggle switch.
See Paradise through.
What? Similar to what the county highway has on their vehicles. Was what we were thinking, but I didn't know what.
yes, so obviously.
If you wanted a vehicle.
Ain't no doubt about it.
If you wanted them wired into the grill that way, you know, so. I don't know about anybody else. I have problems seeing the lights in the grills, even in the police cars. Cause you have all this grill and then you have these little lights blinking between, you know. I mean, I think they would, to me, they'd be more noticeable on the dash that, you know, and people won't assume they're police officers.
Well, the color is.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, cause it would only be yellow. There'd be no red and blue.
You have yellow in mind.
Yeah,
There are plenty of other options, just like the sheriff's department does, that would not poke a hole in the ceiling to put the lights on top.
right.
Okay, and that's fine if
Right.
the general feeling is as long as we don't create any holes. then we-
Well, too often, if the seals are broken in that, then you have a total mess inside the vehicle.
Right, I agree with Mary on that.
All right, that's fine, she just wanted to check.
Yeah, I understand that direct wiring that, because you don't, but I just,
And then it's more important, if there was such a large amount of. For the building, we would like a little bit of correction because it's a little bit. We're kind of quasi, we got a contract with the county.
Right.
I don't have my.
So we wanted a little bit of direction on, how we should proceed. We don't want to step on any toes, we want to follow all protocol. We're hoping and we're planning on, doing a lot of the groundwork for you guys at your building, but we're willing and able and going to give us the approval to do all the groundwork for, you know, doing all the day-to-day stuff. And then, getting an architect who can design it and think about the things and all of that. You know, like, I think we put in a grant, you know, someday we want to put solar panels on. We orient the building the right direction now, where it's put down. Because there's going to be animals and kennels, we want to consider wind direction and sun and all of that to make it most efficient for the utility purposes and where the kennels are placed in the building. So it's stuff like that. And we also hope then we won't have a George Ballard, but someone similar to George Ballard. We would then be a local contact that works with the architect who could then come back and report to you what's going on in the building. And then we wanted to know how involved you guys want to be clearly, you know, we got in 1,000. And we want to be as efficient as possible with that service.
Right. I know I would be honored to represent the commissioners and work on this project. And it's not too far from my place and,
Probably lay blocks too, wouldn't you?
well, I can drop a little mortar, but, I'm not gonna commit to that just yet, but
Okay.
I'd be happy to look at your blueprints and, I'd be happy to get out there during your concrete pours and, help out and kind of see how things are being laid out. So, I do have some background in home building and construction, so
Well, we want to do whatever you guys can do it, you know. we
I
just-
believe this is a public works project,
Yeah.
correct? So it's gonna have to be designed and bid by sealed bid, so you could work with whoever the architect is, or is it going to be not?
That's not Matt
So I think-
Billywack. He's a highway department engineer. Building is not his Billywack.
So doing the architectural work is, that's coming out of here, which I'm assuming it will, it's a professional service and the county can choose. You know, if they want to do the design and then and it may be a design build, I don't even know if they're gonna put a. Trying to think of the date of it, pre-manufactured, I'm not certain what you're gonna do.
That isn't what we have looked
Okay.
at.
It would be the county's decision.
Well, I mean, we can put basically a bid out for build the design. What, they come up with the design and present it to us. We don't,
We could do
you
that
know,
too.
we can kind of give them, this is what we're looking for. But
We could do that. I think the animal shelter has something in mind that they've had sketched out, so we could go either direction, have an engineer or architect draw up specifications and put that out for bid, or like Mary said, just put it out and say, bring us your proposed project, your proposed building, and we'll decide from those proposals.
well, my thought on that is, let's face it, an animal shelter is not one of the more common buildings that, that you have. And if you have firms that have done, this type of,
good.
so, I mean, that's why I think maybe the design thing, get somebody that knows.
Sure, I'd be honored to help you.
Yeah, and then we'll still have maybe someone local.
That's a good idea. Be nice if you could find a retired engineer or maybe an engineer close by that loves to help out in the community. I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, not that they have to be out there every day, but just, during the concrete pours, during, some of the key components of the project, insulation, construction of your trusses, you really want someone out there on the site to
Do you have something, Brent?
take a look at it.
Yeah, so is this in between the landfill and this?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
So we're in the process right now of, we just did a 2-week stint with the mine, all in all the brush. So we're in the process of putting millings down to move our concrete piles, so we'll have all that moved. Probably, I'm gonna say the end of the year, first of, next year, we'll have all that concrete, because we've got a whole pile of concrete that we've had there for years. So we're in the process of moving everything back to the millings that we just put down. So we've got all the brush all to the mine, and so we're in the process of, we've been hauling a lot of concrete. So we're getting all that moved and cleaned up and ready for whenever, and I'll let you guys know when we get that done.
Good deal.
I just want to make sure that's where it was going.
And really, it's kind of best if you can find a retired engineer, I mean, it really is, because some of those guys love to get out there and look at specs and may even donate their time, but
Put it together, maybe.
Right, right, yeah.
Right.
Well, this is just more or less overseeing. Yeah, right.
She doesn't have to put all that together.
And then
Right.
finally,
Good point.
we're also at, doing a lot of grants and other types of fundraisers, and I would assume that you guys are not opposed if we were able to latch on to some of those things, adding it to the money that we've been given to maybe do some of the things that we're gonna have to do say we can make it out. I'm assuming.
There's no reason why it can't be. I mean, it's your money, it's money you're raising and getting. So I mean, it's the board's, that's,
The only complexity is, and Sharon and I talked about this earlier, is we want some kind of understanding, MOU
Right.
with ME Corp. That what happens should there be some type of future dissolution. So we can work on that, those terms.
Because,
Yeah.
as you know, any corporation or not-for-profit throws in money every month to keep the shelter going, and we're looking at maybe a larger contribution. And Jason and I had talked about any corporation, not-for-profit, we would hire an attorney that would work with the county attorney to come up with a contract if we were to put additional money from the not-for-profit
into that, and the county building. Yeah.
So that would, I think realistically, that's probably the direction we need to go, because we're gonna look at some additional. Because we want to build the thing so that it lasts and serve these out into the future. And, I expect with supply increased costs and all of that, that that's all
Sharon,
I had. I just
Not
wanted
to interrupt, but mutually assuring here too, will we get assurances, Attorney Spindler, will we get assurances that, should their group, for one reason or another, dissolve, that we have ownership of the property and the building, and I think we need it in writing.
Yeah, we'll put that in.
Okay, okay.
It is going on county property, but yes, we will need to make that
And,
incorporated. in the-
Okay.
Whenever, any corporation have things like things with papers and things, everything that any corp bought was movable. So if there ever was a separation, it was clear that the building and everything in the building was the county and stuff we had moved and repurchased to be easily moved. But I think we're gonna be a lot more together now with the two buildings. So, we'll be coming back then in the future. But again, I appreciate the time. We just wanted some direction, so we just start where you guys are. All work together. It's a great
Yeah.
filter. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the LAPC plan, we have to sign a new agreement.
I've got that, that was circulated to you by Stephanie, and it's essentially the same terms as last year's. No changes. So I would just ask for a motion to approve the local emergency planning hazardous materials response guidelines as presented to you. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So move.
Second.
And a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey.
The ayes have it.
Can I ask that we
Yeah.
stop the chatter because it's picking up on the recording? And it's hard to get the recording in because we're getting all the background chatter. So please, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Second, that motion.
I didn't. Warren made the motion, I seconded.
And next is a Franklin School termination of lease and removal of personal property.
We have a lease with North Gibson School Corporation. I've emailed the commissioners about this on a couple of occasions. Most recently today, the school corporation is interested in transferring this over to ARC. It's a 50-year lease set to expire in 2028. And we pay $1 per year for that lease. It was last used for the health department. I've talked with Diane about property that we may have in there. I know I recommended in the email that we authorize the termination of the lease. But I would ask at this time that we table that instead. And let's give Diane and Andy an opportunity to go in the building and see we need to come up with a game plan on removal of that content.
That's not just the health departments.
That's a lot of different.
Departments, like
Yeah.
we were using that whole basement, there's a whole bunch of stuff from the clerk's office. Was it the
Yeah.
clerk's office?
Yeah, clerk's office. There was voting machines and
Yeah.
stuff, and most of those are
There's a
no
lot
good
of-
anyway. And there was a lot of different stuff. And I think most of it is probably disposable, but I don't know for sure.
Judy, can you put that on the next meeting agenda?
So we need a motion to table that.
Sure, yeah. Do
I'll
I hear
make a motion to table this.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I think it's tabled.
Alright. Now, Labor Day parade for 2023. What do we have on that?
Well, probably not a whole lot right now, but Charlie Woodruff with the Fair Board is working with the county. And so we really have quite a few people working on it, but the Labor Day Committee, they're going to read and vote on community applications on November the 14th. So Gibson County and City of Princeton and the Gibson County Fair Board have all worked together to put together an application and to send off to this Labor Day Committee. So we're hoping to bring the Labor Day Parade back to Gibson County in 2023. It's a big group project. It's a big event, especially with the Labor Day Parade, the culminating event. But it's going to be a big project. It'll be something really nice, I think, for the entire tri-state area, because people will come here from surrounding counties, and it's a good way to, to bring some of our labor force in here and show some respect and recognition for these hardworking men and women. It will also involve like the Princeton Police Department, the Gibson County Sheriff's Department, and possibly even the Highway Department. So it's going to be one of those projects to where we all have to come together and be a team and get the job accomplished for the right reasons. So that's as much as I know about it right now. But right now we're all just kind of on the edge of our seat, hoping we get the nod, but we won't know until after November 14th. And if any of you are familiar with that group or have any friends that are familiar with that Labor Day Committee, we would appreciate your support and putting in a good word for Gibson County. We would really appreciate it because we want to bring it back to Gibson County for sure.
It also helped the finances of the county. I mean.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the public that had, restaurants,
Yes.
it's gonna help a bunch.
You're right. It brings in all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Now, Charlie had asked that we maintain our support like we had in previous years. I believe, Judy, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it was to the tune of $2,000 for all the rental of the buildings and things that we have to do out there. Judy, we have an ample amount of money in that fund, correct? Okay, so President, I would just ask that we put it to a motion that we approve the funding for the rentals.
That comes out of the edit, doesn't it, Judy?
Yeah, special event.
Okay, we've got a motion made. Need to go ahead with it.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's your turn, Bob Schmitz.
I'm not gonna ask for any money.
Oh, good.
Should we applaud?
Brand Johnson in here instead of previous. But my thank you, gonna be directed to Ken and Brand. Roads out there in Center Township, washboard, basically. Okay, we've got a grader man, runs around out there, and does not a damn thing really, blades back. If you can't run a grader, I want to see you disqualified. He's been on it long enough, he should be disqualified. He can't do it or won't do it, and that's up to you. But right now, we've got washboards everywhere, it is shaking apart. Like I said, you come out there a little more often and you find out what I'm talking about. But when I worked in the coal mines and the operating engineers, you was either qualified or you didn't do it. This guy's either unqualified or too damn, I think he may be in here tonight. I hope he is. I'd rather say it to his face as to his back. but you're either unqualified or unqualified. I don't know if he's too lazy to do what he's supposed to do or what. But I know Brent, I'm really glad Brent's in here, because I know he understands what I'm talking about. The other guy probably wouldn't. But, that's my biggest thing. And then, I think on this, I'm all for this new broadband that they're putting in. I think it went around, it started out backwards, in my opinion. I think the county surveyor should have went out and found the boundaries, because they're putting stuff on other people. And a lot of them are getting, most of them had a lot of reasons. And, they put one in the middle of the driveway, they moved it today. But it's right in the very middle of the driveway. And it's willy-nilly in it. And I'd like to see, I'm all for it. I'm gonna sign up for it back, but I'd like to see it done right. But mostly I want to complain about the road situations out there. And if this guy can't do the job, or won't do the job, he needs to go down the road. I'm a union man, I hate to see that happen, but that's the way it is. That's all I've got.
Okay, Bob.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I will say on some of the power lines, President, on some of the power lines, I've gone out and measured them, just to make sure that they, meet, the specs on the height. And so that trucks can get underneath them, and especially when harvest was going on, I had to go out. A few farmers called me and wanted me to come out and measure the lines. And, they were all in pretty good shape, but there were a few low ones that I had to call, Spectrum on. And they came out, they actually replaced a few poles. I don't know, did I show you some of those, Brand, or not? They actually replaced a few poles on us, for us out there on 168. But, overall, they've been pretty accommodating. So if you or anyone else in this county has any trouble with them, with Spectrum,
They pretty well.
let us know.
Chip and seal up in front of the house.
I know. That's gonna have to be fixed.
They had, I did part of it because they had me out there with my backhoe because theirs wouldn't reach deep enough. They lost the end of their directional boring machine. They said $30,000. And I dug down, found it. I tore up part of it, but their expense, not mine.
You saved them a lot of money, though. You found their head at the end of the
Yeah.
drill?
Yeah.
Those aren't cheap,
So
yeah.
he's the one that tore the road up.
Those aren't cheap for them.
All right. My name's James Hall. I live out there in Center Township. And I just want Kenny, it's your area. They're replacing all them poles, and putting metal poles in there on 550. On 550 going toward 168.
Mhm.
They're leaving all their poles in the ditch. They're cutting them off, leaving them lay right in the ditch. Now, when it floods, and that does flood down
Oh,
there,
yeah.
what happens then when them poles are in that water, in that flood, in that ditch?
Go down the river.
Well, I mean, we don't need that, make it wash out onto the road and like, and when they're getting done with that stuff, when they're done, take it and cut the poles off, they need to pick it up.
Is that
They're
Spectrum?
there.
Is that Spectrum doing that or?
But I mean, we already had a good rain, it's coming.
Right.
And you know.
That's on 550 East on Saddle Club Road?
On the south side, where they're putting all them big poles in.
I didn't know they
Right
were.
there in the ditch.
Yeah, they're nerve, that.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, and I just want you to know, I mean, I don't think you ever, I know you're a 250 man, so, I mean, you don't ever go back that far, unless you gotta go 69, so that's why I want to bring it to your attention.
I'll look at that, 'cause I didn't know I knew they had the road closed quite often. And I knew something was going on, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, they're replacing, they're putting metal poles in there, big poles in there, and then they just cut them off, left the other ones sit in the ditch, and they're all laying in the ditch all the way up and down through there, the big poles, they're laying in the ditch, they got stuff on them, and then they.
Who's doing that? Do you know? Is it?
I don't know who it is, but it's a big company, I mean, good God, they got max out, stuff like that.
I'd say it's one of the subcontractors working for them.
Probably.
They get,
This is our.
Car company?
Oh, okay, okay.
But they need to.
Center Point doing it?
Okay.
But I mean, I just feel like the county needs to stay on them and say, hey, you know, you need to clean this up, because it's in the ditch, and that ditch is very important
Oh, yeah.
for Saddle Club.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of water there.
Water on this. There's any kind of schedule cleaning out ditches, road ditches.
Well, I'm sure there is, but Brent left. He got a phone call, so,
He just left so he wouldn't have.
yeah, yeah.
It's all good.
Is there anything else? Go ahead.
Mark Fehrenbacher, 801 East Oak Street, Fort Branch. I was here the last meeting, talked about the Bridge of Honor site, and you recommended that I talk to George Pickersgill about poles and what his thoughts were, and I did. Since last meeting, he only supported. So I just reiterate what I asked for the county. One is so I mentioned this with Commissioner Fleetwood. I'd like to have some signs placed at the entrance to that to the site. Now, giving the commissioners some details. And there's a stone, paving stone at the fire pit there that if the county would give me permission, I would place it myself at my expense, but that'd be up to you. And then we have a gentleman here from the Parks Board that says that there's a trash can that's possibly going to be donated, so we'll get his thunder. Possibly. And then the only other thing is in the spring, it'd be wise for the county to somebody down there to clean that brush up in the ditch behind the site. So basically, what I'm asking for is signage and either permission to place that stone or for the county to pick it up on themselves.
On the signage, what kind of signage you talking about?
Well, basically, what's currently on the bridge itself.
Right.
Sound about yay big. Basically, exact duplicate, but then a sign underneath it says like parking for the narrow. And one going to the left, one going to the right, there's two sets of signs, on either side of the entrance.
Warren, if you want to, you can go out to county garage. I mean, they can make up signs.
Mhm.
It's not that expensive, but
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you want, what you want on the signage.
What are you wanting on the signage, or what does it need to read? What does it need to read?
On the bridge itself, you have a green sign, green background,
Yeah.
that is the Bridge of Honor.
Mhm.
Basically that sign, and then underneath it, a little sign says parking, pointing this way or pointing that way.
Yeah.
You want a duplicate of what's there, plus the arrow signs.
Plus the parking arrow sign.
Yeah.
Green sign, white letters.
Now the question is, I would prefer just sticking on the utility pole, but I don't know if that'd be allowed or whatever,
Can't do that.
but okay, then.
Not without permission, at least.
You have to, drop the fence posts.
Mhm.
And what was the verbiage again? Just Bridge of Honor, or?
Yeah, Bridge of Honor, and then, parking.
Parking and arrow.
With an arrow, parking inside an arrow, one going left, one going right. And just at either side of the entrance going into the site.
Yeah,
And
Mark.
as far as that stone, you want to replace it, fine, if not, I can replace it, that's up to you all.
Just to remind you guys, that's part of the ranch trustees property there as well. So program need to talk to the town as well to put signs in. I mean, we'll open the GIS if you want to, but
Okay.
that's just something so that you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put signs out there, you talk.
Right.
Make sure they're okay with it.
Right.
The parking would be on the town property.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the one sign would be right at the edge of the bridge, so that would still be the county side.
Well, regardless, it's there at Fort Branch, so they need to be in the loop.
Mhm. For sure.
But,
Yeah.
Just my request, however you want to do it. That's you all.
Okay, so you want me to contact the town of Fort Branch and get approval and permission for said signage? And then make sure it's constructed, and take it out there. You want me to put it out there? I don't have a problem doing that if you, okay, I can too, so, okay.
They got those,
But you're not gonna get mad at me if I put it like a weird spot or something. Cause
Don't
that's
put
my
it in the
wife.
middle of the drive.
That's my wife. Sometimes I do stuff unorthodox. Like, you know what I mean?
No, just on the sign.
I mean, Okay, yeah.
Up the side.
I'll try to put a normal spot. Sounds like a good idea.
I was thinking, like I said, I showed you some pictures and I thought on the one side, you know, as you look at the side,
Sure.
right there where the guardrail curves, right there.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's another utility pole on the other side, you know, somewhere right there.
Maybe I call you too before I go slamming post. Right? Maybe I call
And
you.
before you drive a post in front of a guardrail, you better check with the highway department.
yeah, you better,
Think so.
well, you better make sure there's nothing underneath of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a water line?
Anything.
Water line, electric line, you know, whatever.
Agree. Understood. And agree. Yes, thank you.
Anything else? And I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.